Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another gameplay video. This time on the left, we got my friend James playing Bibbidi slash Mono Black Boo. On the right, we got my friend Chris playing Cabba U6. Now, I think Universe 6, it's an archetype we haven't seen in a little while now, but I do think it actually is pretty strong. You know, aggro decks are pretty powerful right now because they take advantage of multicolor decks. You know, if you go first against a multicolor deck, you know, they're going to charge our tapped energy, and on your 2 energy turn, you have just kind of like free reign to basically do whatever you want with your game plan. You know, go super aggressive, possibly force a Surge Awaken, probably force the Awaken, depending on what you're playing against. But anyways, we've got Cabba on the right here going first. We got Boo going second, charging the Bibbidi because, well, the super combo, because really, you don't have too much of a choice. You're going to lose that card very, very soon anyway. It's kind of unfortunate to open with it, but it makes for a pretty cool looking energy because, like, who charges the super combos? Only Savages charge the super combos. Anyways, James using the Boo to search out his 2-drop Boo, which is his main playmaker in the deck. But Chris does have the advantage of going first, so we'll see how that plays out for him. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that Chris typically will drop a lot of weenies with his deck, but Boo Leader can absorb them with relative ease. All he has to do is just discard a card, and then he can absorb any 3 or less. So even though those Kales and Cauliflas say that they can't be KO'd, like that one right there that Chris is playing right now, he has to keep in mind that the Bibbidi leader, well, I guess the Boo leader, once it awakens, can absorb that card. So I think he's going to want to get evolved on top of it as quickly as possible. So Chris is going to take a life off of the Cabba ability, so that Caulifla is plus 5k. Probably won't be able to get awakened this turn, just because he won't be able to take enough life. Like, even if he plays one more Universe 6 card, be 1 life too short. James playing smart there, keeping his life total high, because really his hand is going to refuel every single turn, so it doesn't necessarily matter if he wastes cards to keep his life total high. He wants to just keep a 6 life as long as physically possible, only taking damage when he really can't afford to defend it. So Bibbidi going in at the Cabba leader. I think James just drew an extra card off the top of the deck, so that's pretty unfortunate for his Awaken there. He could still get it to the drop area, which he might do on this Boo attack here. So it's a 15k Boo attack. Oh yeah, actually, he can just pitch the extra card for the Bibbidi as well, so that works out too. Chris taking the damage, able to Awaken now. Bibbidi discarding Mimicry, bringing back the 2-drop Boo, again the main playmaker of the deck. And yeah, I like this line of play a lot here by James. You know, he's using his little threats, which they're typically not threats, but he's using his little battle cards to become threats because he wants to get rid of his whole hand, you know what I mean? So that is pretty smart there, I would say. Chris gonna defend out of that attack. James making his Boo plays. Now that he's on 2 energy, he can go into the 4-drop and then into a 6-drop. He can't go into his 5s because they require you to have 3 energy, but still a lot of pressure he's going to put on here. I think if I was Chris, I would use that Crusher Ball in his hand. I know he's definitely debating it. Looks like he's not going to do it. Maybe he's saving it for the 6-drop. So 15k dual attack going in at Cabba. I like this play here. Chris is going to defensively arrival Chompavados and Awaken. So that gets him to the 20k. Nice play as well. All right, he's going to tap the energy, draw a card, so he hasn't lost any value there. James wants to combo on the attack, though. Chris kind of immediately went to his combo step. So Chris combos out. James is going to use the Gray Majin Buu to give that Buu another attack. Big pressure this turn, and he hasn't even been able to go into a 5-drop yet. So very, very big pressure there. I see. James was tapped out though, so Chris's leader was a 20k, so that 15k Boo didn't go in for any damage. And Chris is going to Crusher Ball the 6-drop Boo there. So he doesn't have to worry about that 6-drop Boo, because at any point, if Chris tries to drop his Awakened Sisters by comboing them into play over the little Khalifas and Kales. That 6-drop Boo can warp one of his, you know, Awakened Sisters. Now he's gonna go 20k leader into that 20k Boo. Again, James shouldn't care about his hand too much because he'll just refuel it every single time. So James is in a combo to save that Boo. Chris going for a Planet Vegeta, really powerful card in this deck. Searches just about anything you need. Possibly gonna search his 2-drop Kale here, but possibly not as well. Let's see what he goes for. Okay, looks like he's going for the 2-drop Kale. Still trying to make a decision. I can see the 1-drop Kale here because he probably doesn't want to tap out. Tapping out could be rough against Boo. Alright, he's gonna go for the 1-drop Kale here. I wonder what he'll want to pick up for that. He does have the Brilliant Pairing Kefla in the drop area. That could be what he goes for. Okay, he's gonna go for the Tapping Energy Kefla. Okay, so keep up some draws on the opponent's turn. Monitor some of his plays, because when you're tapping your opponent's energy, you're just preventing plays they can do. Going Chompavados into the 20k Boo. What's interesting here is that if Chris did have the Awakened Sister Kale, okay, he does have it. Cool. So James doesn't really have any benefit to saving this because when the Kale goes into play, it can negate the abilities of the Boo and bounce back to hand anyway. And that auto would go before Boo's auto. So Boo would not be able to sacrifice itself to get rid of the Kale. So pretty good thing to know there. So Chris did a good job of clearing James' board of pressure. 20k crit going in at Boo. James is going to take one, and it is a super combo. Definitely not something that James wants to see there. Now it's going back to James's turn. Chris has 1 yellow energy available. Chris actually hurting on hand size here a bit. Only got like 5 cards in his hand, so he's kind of matched up at parity with Boo. They actually have the same amount of advantage, funnily enough. James going for another Bibbidi into another 2-drop Boo. $15 at lead. Now this is awkward here because Chris can use the Kefla to tap one of James' energy, but it wouldn't turn on Cabba's ability to become a 20k, and it would be over comboing. So I like Chris's idea here to only combo 5k, save that 10k for a bigger attack. I like that a lot. But Chris has a lot of pressure coming his way right here. He is in a Crusher Ball. Stop that dual attack. That's very good. Oh no, yeah, he went to draw off that, but I'm telling them right now that they don't draw, that Chris does not draw for that because the Boo doesn't get switched to rest mode. It comes in rest mode, so it doesn't trigger Cabba's ability. 25k crit going in at Chris. So here, Chris will use the Kefla super combo. Oh, I think he just drew into a Planet Sadala. That's really unfortunate. The dead card. Only 2 cards in his hand. This pressure is very unreal. 25k double striker here. James just swinging face. Chris is taking 2. Now that 5 is going into a 6. The 6 does not have the ability to gain triple strike right now, so that's good. But Chris can still be in a bit of trouble. And he does not draw off the super combo because the Boo is in rest mode. Yes, that is super unfortunate. The Boo leader must have bumped itself up by discarding cards. That's why he was able to clear the Kale. Now Chris is in a really rough spot here. Oh, charging the Chomp. I don't even know if you can charge at this point anymore as Chris here playing U6 Cabba. I don't even know if you should be charging anymore. You gotta conserve all the hand size you can here, I think. Tapping 2. Never mind. Tapping 1. I think I would have tapped 2 here because you would have got the extra draw, and a lot of your combos are free, so you don't really need all the combo power. I mean, all the energy, I guess. But it is definitely a weird situation for Chris to be in. I mean, he's just so low on cards. The Boo pressure has been nuts. So Chris debating what he wants to pick up with the 1-drop Kale here. Gonna go for a Trickster. Chompavatos going in at the 6-drop. And same play as before. He's got the Awakened Sister Kale. He's going to be able to answer the Boo no matter what. So it's not really worth it for James to let it live here. James debating on what he wants to do. Yeah, I guess he'll just make use of the extra card in his hand anyway. Although it does tap him out. I mean, James is nowhere near risk of dying here, so it doesn't really matter too much. He does have the Sparking Negate, and that'll recycle Abibity, which is absolutely broken in this deck. So that helps him out quite a bit. I think Chris is in real trouble here. Yeah, and this is definitely what you want to be doing. You want to be clearing Boo's board turn after turn after turn as best you can. It is tough, though, because they have a very easy ability to reestablish it every single time. So, interesting that Chris here is going to tap the 2-drop and not wait for, like, a bigger threat. Probably doesn't have too much of a choice. So, James here to trying to put Chris to 1. This way, all his subsequent Boos just are automatic lethal. Tributing off the 2-drop. Going into the 5. 25k crit at leader. Crit doesn't matter anymore because he is at 1. Chris goes to 30. Now we go with the 4-drop. 2 15k attacks. 5, and that's it. Oh, never mind. Chris has one more extra card in his hand, not gonna be able to defend the last Boo attack. So there you guys saw 2 aggro decks kind of going at it, and Boo might have the dominant force in that matchup. I don't know if Chris can put on enough pressure because, like I said, James doesn't necessarily care about his hand as the Boo player, so he'll constantly waste cards to defend, where Chris, if he's wasting cards to defend, he's not getting those back. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought about the game. Thank you so much for watching. Any other matchups you want to see, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.